comfortable seated position, cross-legged or kneeling. You can lift the fleshy parts of the bottom up towards the spine, which creates a bit of a ledge. This helps you to stay nice and erect, keep a nice long spine. So welcome to the newbies at the back. My name's Ruth, if you didn't know. We usually start by settling the body, and we're going to do the same today, but we're actually going to do it with a bit of a breathing practice. And we're going to take an inhale through both the nostrils, like this, and we're going to let it out through the mouth. So it's not a quick sigh, it's not like it's a real long, slow exhale. And you can place your hand onto your belly, or place a finger onto your belly button. And as you exhale through your mouth, draw the navel back towards the spine and squeeze all the air out of the belly, of the lungs, and just allow it to come out really slowly, as slow as you can. And then once you finish that, you take another inhale through the nostrils, and again, open the mouth and exhale with a sigh, nice, long, slow sigh. And we'll do this closing the eyes, and whilst you're doing the practice, you just kind of allow some stillness to come over you, allow any thoughts or feelings to just wash over you, acknowledge that they're there, just allow whatever's going through your mind or your body to be present. And then we will move into our asanas. Okay, so as I said, nice comfy seated position. Relax the shoulders down, slightly dip the chin. You can have the hands in the lap with the palms facing up, or you can take the backs of the hands to the knees. You can have the index finger and the thumb touching in Jin Mudra. Just taking a few moments to settle. Come to be aware of the breath flowing in and out of the nostrils, watching it in its natural state. And just briefly be aware of where you're breathing to. Is it your belly that's expanding on your inhales? Or is it your chest that's lifting as you inhale? Or is it a bit of both? Just being aware of where you're breathing into. And then after the next exhale, we're going to take a deep inhalation through both the nostrils, keeping the mouth closed. Pausing at the top, opening the mouth, and sighing the breath out nice and long. Another deep inhalation through the nostrils. Opening the mouth, exhaling with a long sigh, bringing the navel back towards the spine as you squeeze all the air out. Again, inhaling through the nostrils, opening the mouth, and sighing the breath out. So keep practicing like this for a few more rounds at your own pace. Continuing to make the exhalations longer than the inhales, drawing the navel back towards the spine, encouraging the air out of the body. Two more rounds at your own pace. And after your second round, releasing all efforts, coming back to your natural spontaneous breath, flowing in and out of the nostrils. Just being aware of any sensations after the practice. And bringing the hands in prayer at the heart center, we'll begin the class with one Om together. So taking a deep breath in through both nostrils. Ah. And blink the eyes open, release the hands. And then coming to sit with your legs nice and wide. So if we can, try and keep that length through the spine as we're sitting, planting the buttocks down into the mat. Taking the arms wide to either side of the shoulders, reaching up through the fingertips, release the shoulders down. And then slowly start to fold forwards towards the space. Just going to where you can go, and then coming all the way back up, keeping the arms alongside the shoulders. Stretching up into the fingertips, and once again leading with the navel down towards the floor. So allow the navel to lead the chest, and then once again coming all the way back up. If you need to bring your knees up slightly, that's absolutely fine. Inhale, reaching into the fingertips, softening through the shoulders. Exhale, slowly releasing towards the floor, just to where you can go to. You don't have to reach all the way down. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Reach into the fingertips. Exhale, slowly folding out. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up, and exhale to fold. And then you can release the hands down to the floor. Pausing here, if you want, you can close the eyes down, sink into the breath. If you need, like I said, if you need to bend the knees, you are welcome to. See if you can keep the bottom planted down into the mat. With the inhalation, see if you can extend and lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, invite that softness, allowing the torso to soften towards the floor. There's no expectation here to reach the floor, just going to where you can. On the next inhalation, slowly start to raise back up. You can stretch the arms out, lifting all the way up, reaching into the fingertips, and then releasing down. And then coming into a cross-legged position or a kneeling position if that's more comfortable. And joining the palms out in front of you. And then drawing the palms away, taking the arms wide. You can take the gaze upwards slightly, feeling a slight squeeze in the shoulder blades, and then drawing the palms towards each other, taking the chin to the chest, rounding through the upper back. Once again, inhale, taking the arms wide. Gaze is up. Exhale, drawing the palms in, rounding through the upper back. You can draw the navel towards the spine slightly. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, drawing the palms together. Inhale, arms wide to the side. Exhale, drawing them in. A few more rounds at your own pace, working slowly. One more. And then draw the palms back to the chest, release them down. Once again, taking the legs wide to the side. And again, encourage you to have a bit of a bend if you need to. Plant those bottoms down into the mat. Find some length through the tailbone. And then clasping the hands in front of you and drawing out over that space between the legs. And drawing out to the right hand side over that foot. And drawing back. As we draw back, engaging the core, as we bring the navel back towards the spine, moving out to the left and then to the front. Again, moving out to the right, drawing back and releasing round to the left. Imagine you're stirring a big pot of chocolate or porridge. And this movement is slow and steady. There's no rush here. We're not trying to win a race. We're just taking it slow. Feeling into the movement. One more in this direction. And when you're hovering over that space between the legs, pausing here and then starting to move in the other direction, so moving over to the left-hand side. Drawing back, engage the core. Releasing all the way around. Keeping the breath steady as you flow. And this is great for the whole pelvic region, the thoracic region, stimulating our digestive systems. And one more in this direction. When you come to hover over that space between the legs, pausing here, slowly releasing all the way back up to neutral. Release the hands down, lovely. And then we're going to come onto our hands and knees in a tabletop position. So, taking the wrists so they're underneath the shoulders, taking the fingers nice and wide, really planting the fingertips down into the mat. And then taking the knees so that they're stacked underneath the hips. And this should create a nice straight spine, straight enough to place a cup of tea on. Drawing the navel back towards the spine, strengthening through that front body. You can take the gaze just slightly forward of the mat. So just feel into this for a few breaths. And on the next inhalation, we're going to take the gaze forward, lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling, curving through the spine, coming into our cat extension. And as we exhale, tucking the tailbone under, taking the chin to the chest, curving the spine up towards the ceiling, coming into our cat flexion. Inhale, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone, cat extension. Exhale, tucking chin to chest, tucking the tailbone under, curving the spine up as we exhale, cat flexion. Once again, inhale, moving into cat extension. Exhale, moving to cat flexion. Inhale to extend. And exhale into flexion. So keep flowing like this at your own pace. You can close the eyes down. Take it nice and slow. Feel into every movement. Allow the breath to guide it. Guide you as you move through your cat extension and flexion. One more round. And after you finish your last round, coming back to your neutral tabletop position, you can adjust your hands if you need to, make any changes to your stable tabletop. And then we're going to move into some tiger flows. So taking your awareness to your right leg and extending the right leg back behind you. So you're pushing into your heel, taking the toes down towards the floor. And we're going to bend the knee, drawing the toes towards the back of the head, taking the gaze upwards slightly, so you're creating a bit of a curve in the spine. And then once again, extend the leg back behind you, and this time bending the knee, drawing it underneath the body, drawing the knee towards the chin or the forehead, and then extending the leg back behind once again. Bending the knee, drawing the toes towards the back of the head, extending the leg back behind, and drawing the knee underneath the body towards the chin or the forehead. Inhale, extending the leg back. Exhale, toes to the back of the head. Inhale, extending back. And exhale, knee to the chin. Inhale, extending back. Exhale, toes to the back of the head. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to chin. Inhale to extend. Exhale, toes to the back of the head. Inhale to extend. And exhale, knee to the chin or the forehead. And then releasing the knee down. Adjust your position, wriggle the fingertips. And moving into the other side. So bringing your awareness to your left leg. Extending the leg back behind, pushing into the back of the heel, toes down towards the floor. Create a nice, strong front of the body. And then bending the knee, drawing the toes towards the back of the head. Extending the leg back behind. Drawing the knee underneath the body towards the chin or the forehead. And then extending the left leg back behind. Bending the knee, toes to the back of the head. Extending behind, knee drawing underneath the body. And inhale, extending the leg back. Exhale, toes to the head. Inhale to extend. Exhale, drawing the knee underneath. Inhale, extending back. Exhale, toes to the head. Inhale to extend. Exhale, drawing the knee underneath. Inhale to extend. Exhale, toes to the head. Inhale to extend. Exhale, drawing the knee underneath. Release the knee to the mat. Take the knees wide to the edge of the mat. You can have the toes touching. Slowly release the bottom down to the heels and start to stretch the arms out in front, releasing the forehead down to the mat. Releasing all efforts here, allowing the breath to settle. And then just start to deepen the breath. Bring some awareness back to your body, back to this moment. Be aware of your position on your mat within this room. And slowly start to lift the forehead off the mat, taking the gaze to between the hands. And slowly start to shift the hands, coming back into your tabletop position, adjusting yourself how you need to. And then tucking the toes underneath, lifting the hips and lifting the knees, stepping back into our mountain pose, Samirasana. We're not going to be here for too long. We're going to start to walk the feet up towards the hands. Just doing this as best you can, no expectation. And then slowly walk the hands towards the mat and continue to keep walking towards the top of the mat until you're in a full forward fold. You can have your knees generously bent, abdomen resting on the thighs, hands either side of the feet. And then we're going to lift the head, lift the chest, keeping the knees bent, coming into our halfway lift, keeping the fingertips engaged with the floor beneath. So you can have the knees bent as much as you need to here. The abdomen can be resting on the thighs. And then once again, bringing the chin to the chest, coming into your forward fold, taking the gaze between the legs. And once again, lifting the head, lifting the upper chest, coming into our halfway lift. And then releasing back into our forward fold. Inhale, coming into our halfway lift. And exhale, folding down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Pause here for a few breaths. One more inhalation. And on the exhale, folding to our forward fold. And on the next inhalation, immediately start to roll up through the spine, keeping the arms heavy and long in front of you. You can keep the knees bent. Keep the chin to the chest. Very slowly coming all the way up. If you get dizzy, if you get low blood pressure, just take a few moments to find something to focus on until you're all the way up, feeling steady. Okay, and then we're going to move through some sun salutations. So we'll go slow for the first couple of rounds, and then we'll try and pick up the pace a little bit. So we start by planting the feet into the mat, pick up the toes, spread them wide, drop them down, a slight bend in the knees. Just feel into the lower part of the spine, the tailbone, and we're tucking the tailbone under, so we're not sticking our bottoms out, we're taking the tailbone, lengthening through the spine, engaging the core slightly by bringing the navel back towards the spine. And relax the shoulders down. And then bringing the hands into the prayer position, Anjali Mudra. This is our starting position. And just close the eyes down for a moment or two in preparation. And I want you to sink into your breath as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Feel into the strength that it holds. And on the next inhalation, blinking the eyes open. And then raising the arms alongside the ears. And you can push the hips forward slightly taking the gaze upwards if you wish. And then hinging at the hips, floating the arms down, coming all the way through a 90-degree angle into our forward fold, and the hands come to either side of the feet. And once again, we bend the knees, abdomen can rest on the thighs, chin can tuck to the chest. Our full forward fold. Taking the awareness to the right foot and stepping the right foot back, dropping the back knee down into our lunge. So our front foot's firmly planted on the floor. We can take the gaze forward, broaden through the shoulders slightly, length through the spine. And then planting the palms down onto the mat, pick the back knee up, step the front foot back into our mountain or our downward dog. So here our fingers are spread wide, planting the index finger and the thumb into the mat. A very slight bend in the elbows. Rotate the shoulders down towards the bottom. Grow through the spine, taking the tailbone towards the edge of the ceiling and the wall, knees bent, heels lifted. From here, we lower the knees down into a tabletop position. And then we lower the chest and the chin to hover off the floor, keeping the elbows into the ribs. Pushing the chest forward and up, allowing the rest of the body to drop to the floor. And then bringing the head and the upper chest up into cobra. You can come down into Sphinx if you find that easier. Tucking the toes under, lift the hips, lift the knees, push back to mountain. And then stepping the right foot forward, between the hands, dropping the back knee down into lunge. Once again, gaze is forward. Picking up the back knee, stepping the back foot forward into forward fold, knees bent, chin to the chest, abdomen resting on the thighs. Our full forward fold. Reach the arms alongside the ears, raise all the way up to standing. You can bring the palms together, push the hips forward, and then bringing the hands in prayer at the heart center. So that was one side, and we'll do the other now. Raising the arms alongside the ears, slight back bend if you wish. Float the arms down, hinge at the hips, folding all the way to forward fold. Hands either side of the feet. Taking the awareness to the left foot, stepping the left foot back, left knee drops, gaze forward, broaden through the chest. Plant the palms down, pick the back knee up, step the front foot back to mountain. Remember, knees bent, heels lifted, push the palms away. Drop the knees down, tabletop. And then hover the chin and the chest between the hands, elbows in, push the chest forwards, coming up into cobra. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips, pushing back to mountain. Awareness with the right foot this time, stepping the right foot up between the hands, back knee drops, lunge. Lifting the back knee, stepping the back foot forward, forward fold, chin to the chest, knees bent. Reach through the arms, come all the way back up to standing, hands together, hands at the heart center in prayer. So that was one round. So taking the arms alongside the ears, stretching up, releasing down to forward fold. Right foot back to lunge. Plant the palms, left foot back to mountain. Release the knees to tabletop, then the chin and the chest, pushing the chest and the head up to cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the knees to mountain. Stepping the left foot between the hands to lunge, stepping the right to forward fold. Reaching through the arms, coming all the way up to standing. Hands in prayer at the heart center. Raising the arms up, folding forwards. Left foot to lunge, right foot to mountain. Lower the knees, lower the chest and chin to hover, pushing up to cobra. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, lift the knees, pushing back to mountain. Taking the right foot between the hands, lunge. Left to forward fold. Reaching through the arms, coming all the way up. Hands in prayer at the heart center. So this time with the breath. Inhale, raising up. Exhale to fold. Inhale the right to lunge. Exhale the left to mountain. Hold the breath if you can. Lower the knees, lower the chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. And then we exhale to mountain. Inhale the left, lunge. Exhale the right to forward fold. Inhale, reach through the arms, coming all the way up. Exhale the hands to the heart. Inhale to raise. Exhale to fold. Inhale the left to lunge. Exhale the right to mountain. Hold the breath, lower the knees, lower the chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to mountain. Inhale the right to lunge. Exhale the left to forward fold. Inhale, raising all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Well done. Inhale, raising up. Exhale to fold. Inhale the right to lunge. Exhale the left to mountain. Hold the breath, lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to mountain. Inhale the left to lunge. Exhale the right to forward fold. Inhale to raise. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, raising up. Exhale to fold. Inhale the left to lunge. Exhale the right to mountain. Hold the breath, lower the knees, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to mountain. Inhale the right to lunge. Exhale the left, forward fold. Inhale, raising all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Pause here. Close the eyes down. Release all efforts. Let the breath settle. Being aware of any sensations within the body. After this energetic practice of surya namaskara, salute to the sun. Keep the eyes closed, but release the hands to either side of the body, palms facing out. Feel into the energy within the palms and hands. Blink the eyes open. Raise the arms alongside the ears. Relax the shoulders down. Reach into the fingers. Draw the tailbone down towards the mat. Fold to a 90-degree angle. Pausing here. Chest parallel to the floor beneath. Reach into the fingertips, sending the tailbone back towards the back of the room. And then flowing all the way back down into your forward fold. Taking the chin to the chest. Awareness to the right foot. Stepping the right foot back. Dropping the back knee down. Coming into our Ardha Chandrasana lunge. So we're not flowing through another round of sun salutes. We're going to pause here in our lunge pose. So make sure you've got your knee in line with your ankle. You can have the back toes tucked under, or you can soften the top of the foot to the floor beneath. Spend a few breaths here, feeling into our lunge with our chest resting on our thigh or thereabouts. As you breathe, feel some length through the spine. And on the next inhalation, we're going to come up, taking the hands to the knee. You might want to adjust yourself here to make yourself a bit more comfortable. And it's Ganesha's birthday today, so we're going to do the Ganesha Mudra, which is taking the hands like this, taking the thumb underneath, taking the other thumb on top, taking the hands just in front of the chest. You can pull the elbows wide to the side. And then sinking into that breath, keeping it long and strong within the body. Push the front foot into the floor beneath. Keep taking the tailbone down towards the mat. Couple more breaths here. On the next inhalation, release the mudra, take the arms alongside the ears, reach up, and exhale, float the hands down either side of the foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the knee up, and step the front foot back to mountain. And then bringing the awareness to the right foot this time. Stepping the right foot forward between the hands, dropping the back knee down, coming into lunge or Ardha Chandrasana on this side. So again, make sure the knee is in line with the ankle. You can have the back toes tucked, or you can have the top of the foot softened to the floor. Spending a couple of breaths here. You might feel a bit of a difference on this side. Just noticing any of those changes. Using the breath to lengthen through the spine, opening through the hips. And on the next inhalation, coming up, hands resting on the knee. Get comfortable here, make any adjustments you need to make. And then making the mudra with the opposite hands. Don't worry if you can't remember. Just making the mudra in front of the chest. Again, taking the elbows wide to the side. Soften the shoulders down. Soften the tailbone down towards the floor. Sinking into that long, strong, powerful breath. Couple more breaths here. On the next inhalation, releasing the mudra, drawing the arms up alongside the ears, reach into the fingertips. And exhale, releasing the hands either side of the feet. Tuck the back toes under, pick up the knee, and stepping back to your mountain. So you can walk your mountain out here, coming up onto the tiptoes of each foot, one after the other. And then coming back to some stillness. Releasing the knees down to the mat. Releasing the bottom, coming into kneeling or Vajrasana. And then from here, we're going to untuck the legs and come to lie down on our backs. In a nice long straight line. Taking the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, engage with the floor beneath. Bringing your awareness to your right leg, bending the knee, drawing the knee up into the chest, and allowing the knee to drop over to the left-hand side, and then taking the gaze over to the right hand. If you want to place your left hand onto your upper thigh, that's fine. If you feel comfortable, you can close the eyes down. And once again, releasing all efforts. completely letting go. Allowing the breath to settle. Inviting some softness with every exhale. On the next inhalation, gently guiding the knee back over, coming to lie back onto your back. Release the right leg out. And then bringing the awareness to the left leg and bending the left knee into the chest. Dropping the left knee and leg over to the right side. Take the gaze over to the left hand. And once again, when you're ready, you can close the eyes down. On the next inhalation, again, gently guiding the left knee back over, releasing the back to the floor beneath, stretching the leg out in front of you. Shifting into a straight line once again. And then you can bring both knees up into the chest, giving yourself a hug, holding them close into the chest. You can roll from side to side or make small circular motions along the lower back. And then you can either rock and roll along the spine, or you can just come up to seated how you like. I don't particularly like to roll along my spine, so don't worry if you don't either. And then we're going to move into our meditation, our pranayama meditation part of the class. So if you want to get a jumper or your cardies, whatever you want to be warm, have a drink if you need to. So the practice I was going to do today is not one I've done with you before. It's actually a mudra as well. Mudra is a gesture. We sometimes do it with our hands, we sometimes do it with our body. And this particular practice is called Shanti Mudra, or Peace Mudra. And so we can sit like this in a cross-legged position. And we hover the hands just in front of the pelvis. And as we inhale, very nice and slowly, we just start to release the hands, hovering in front of the body all the way up. So it's almost as if we inhale from the lower part, our hands start to move with the breath up. As that breath passes into our chest, we continue to move the hands over the chest and up towards the neck. And then we draw the hands out, away from the body, taking them out to the side. And then as we start to exhale, slowly drawing the hands back in, reversing the movement, taking them back down over the body, right down towards the pelvis as we started. So you're trying to allow the breath to guide the movement here. You don't want to run out of breath. And as we move and draw the hands away, it's called the peace mudra because you're supposed to radiate peace outwards into the universe. But we don't always feel peaceful, and I don't think it's right to tell you to feel peace. So if you don't feel peace, that's all right. You can imagine what peace feels like. But if you feel peace, then that's great. It's just a practice, so give it a go. Don't worry too much. Sometimes we don't understand yoga. It's just about doing it and seeing how it feels. Okay, so let's get comfy. We can release the fleshy parts of the bottom up towards the spine, creating that ledge, lengthening through the spine. Relax the shoulders down. When we're ready, we can close the eyes down. You can have the hands in the lap or on the knees just to start as we settle. Becoming aware of the breath as it flows in and out of the nostrils. Just tuning into it. Taking a nice deep inhalation through both the nostrils just to begin. Drawing the hands in front of the pelvis. And then exhaling, releasing the breath. On the next exhale, very slowly start to hover the hands, flowing them upwards, following the breath as it moves up the body towards the neck, towards the head. Once you reach the neck, drawing the hands away from the body and the head outwards. And then on the exhale, bringing the hands back towards the body and the neck. Drawing the breath and the hands down through the midline of the body to the base of the spine. Once again, inhale, raising the hands, and then releasing the hands out to the side. Exhale, slowly draw the hands back towards the body, moving the hands down in front of the neck, the chest, the navel. Inhale, raising the hands, moving them up and moving them out away. Exhale, slowly drawing the hands back in towards the body, matching the breath, slowly drawing the hands down along the midline of the body. And continue practicing like this. If you struggle to make your inhalations last that long, then feel free to take another extra sip of breath. Doing 2 more rounds at your own pace. Taking your time to finish your final round. Once you have, once again, release all efforts. You can release the hands to the lap or to the knees. Keep the eyes closed. And then drawing the awareness up to the mind space, the area behind the forehead. You can imagine yourself sitting at the back of your head, looking out into this space. This space is vast and infinite, and it's personal to you. Allow anything to flow here. You might see pictures, patterns, colours, outlines of images. There's no right or wrong. Allow yourself to become like a silent witness, watching this space like it's your own private cinema screen. If your mind wanders and drifts, simply bring it back to the practice of watching. Keep watching. And now letting go of the space, completely letting go of the mind space, completely letting go of the mind space, and bringing the awareness back to the body, bringing the full awareness back to the body. Bring the full awareness back to your body. We'll finish the class with 3 Oms together. So bring the hands in prayer at the heart center. Slightly dip the chin. Take a deep inhalation through both nostrils. Ah. Hari Om Tat Sat.